Stand up for your rights. Keep shining your light and show the world the smile.
Aloha friends, Will with Oral Wellness here. Today we're going to discuss how to brush your teeth using our preferred method to clean the gum line, the Bass brushing technique. As you know, brushing is an important habit that many of us learn when we're toddlers. And when we're young, we have limited fine motor skills, so we just kind of end up doing the best that we can. However, for most of us, no one ever told us that as we grow older and develop more fine motor skills, we should really revisit and refine our toothbrushing technique. When you learn how to brush your teeth with a better technique and with conscious awareness, you'll become more effective at removing plaque and disrupting and disorganizing the colonies of bacteria that contribute to gum disease. And you'll also be much more gentle on your precious teeth and gum tissue, which helps prevent problems like receding gums. First, let's take a look at some of the features of our Bass toothbrushes. Your Bass toothbrush has some unique features based on the designs of the medical doctor and researcher Dr. Charles or C.C. Bass. The bristle tufts are more spaced out and each tuft has fewer bristles. Also, if you look really closely at each individual bristle tip, they're polished round so we can massage along and into the gum line without being overly abrasive on our enamel or our gum tissue. And the last design difference is that it has a shorter handle, which we'll discuss in a bit. To learn the story of Dr. Bass and hear more why he made the toothbrush with these specific designs, please go watch our video titled How to Brush Your Teeth to Reduce Gum Disease. In this video, we're going to cover the basics of how to use your Bass toothbrush to clean your teeth better than they've ever been cleaned before. Step 1, bringing conscious awareness to the teeth brushing habit. This first piece to upgrading your brushing technique is really critically important. Simply put, most of us don't pay any attention or little attention on our brushing technique. We just go on autopilot and kind of zombie brush our teeth. The problem with zombie brushing is twofold. First of all, we really aren't helping our teeth and gums much, and actually, number two, we may actually be causing more harm than good depending on the abrasiveness of our oral hygiene products like toothpaste. So first, we have to be willing to pay attention to our brushing technique. Step 2, change your approach to oral hygiene. You see, our oral microbiome, or our oral flora as we like to call it, is a very diverse community of organisms that live in our mouths, many of which are there to help us live happy, healthy lives. So rather than think about the path to optimal oral health as one where we have to kill all the bugs in our mouths, we encourage us to shift our mindset to realize that really our number one job is to balance our oral flora. Or like we like to say, our job is to become a good conductor of the symphony in our mouths. Learning the Bass brushing technique is one of the foundational strategies we teach here at Oral Wellness to become a good conductor of the symphony in our mouths. Different microbes in the mouth thrive in different areas. Some do better on our tongues, others on our teeth, and others like it best inside the gum pocket along the gum line. The Bass brushing technique specifically disrupts and disorganizes the microbes that tend to want to colonize along and under the gum line. In general, the microbes that want to colonize the gum pocket cause gum disease. If you have bleeding gums or any other signs of gum disease, this one technique alone, done properly, can be a complete game changer for your ongoing oral health. And please, if you have children or grandchildren in your life, please teach them this brushing technique. The Bass brushing technique, done well, can literally prevent gum disease from ever establishing in young mouths. So how do we use the Bass toothbrush? First, we're going to hold the Bass toothbrush with our fingertips. If you grab the brush in the full fist like we all did when we learned to brush when we were kids, you won't be able to use the fine motor skills necessary to do the Bass technique correctly. In fact, like we mentioned, one of the unique design features of our Bass toothbrushes is a shorter handle. Having a shorter handle makes it really difficult to brush your teeth with a full fist like a toddler because you just don't have the space. So hold your toothbrush with your fingertips like this. Next, hold your toothbrush at a 45-degree angle to the gum line. And with really, really small back and forth motions, wiggle the rounded bristles into the gum pockets and between the teeth. Be sure to pay particular attention to your molars. Gum disease tends to establish itself between the molars first. You'll notice that with some practice, you can even get the soft bristles into the gum pockets between your molars due to the Bass brush having less bristles and more spaced out bristle tufts than conventional toothbrushes on the market. The technique is to keep the really small back and forth motion in one place for a count to 5 and then move on. An important point to clarify here is that the motion does not need to be fast. It just needs to be really, really small. We encourage that you brush your teeth in a calmer state of mind and take your time. I commonly will brush my teeth while doing something else like passively watching a movie or even sometimes while driving. In this way, I can take my time, brush slowly, and make sure that my teeth are really clean. Make sure you apply the Bass brushing technique to both the outside and inside of your surfaces of your teeth. And one last point on the tiny movement. If you ever hear your brush raking over multiple teeth, you're probably dropped back into zombie brushing. The Bass technique is really about keeping the bristle tips in one place and wiggling the brush head gently back and forth to wiggle the bristles down into the gum pockets rather than raking the toothbrush over multiple teeth at once. And that's all there is to the Bass brushing technique. Here's a quick recap of what we've covered today. Number one, an important piece to optimizing our oral health is to bring more conscious awareness, more mindfulness to our oral hygiene and break the habit of zombie brushing that can literally do more harm than good. Number two, we really want to shift our thinking from kill everything in the mouth to balancing our oral flora, or becoming a good conductor of the symphony of microbes in our mouths. Number three, a foundational strategy to become a good conductor is the Bass brushing technique, which has been clinically proven to disrupt and disorganize the microbes most commonly implicated with gum disease. The Bass brushing technique accomplishes this by applying a specific method of keeping the bristles pointed 45 degrees at the gum line, using very, very small back and forth motions to wiggle the bristles down into the gum line where these thug bugs thrive. And the strategy is to keep the brush in one place for 5 seconds and then move on. And last, remember the motion is really small. Speed doesn't matter and is actually easier to do a little slower until it becomes habit to brush this way. So in the next video, we will dive into brushing the tooth surfaces to help avoid tooth decay. See you in the next video.
Stand up.